Well, hello there, my friends. Thank you for joining us for Ladies and Gentledice episode number 12. God, we're really getting up there, huh? Say hello, players. Hello to our beautiful audience that loves us.
Hello and hello motorcycles in my neighborhood.
Hello.
Rox.
Yes. Should I say some stuff about social media and stuff?
You sure should.
Oh man, you should follow us on social media and keep up with our shenanigans. It'd be great. We are on Twitter at Gentledice. We are on Instagram at Ladies and Gentledice, and we have a Discord now as well, which you can find by visiting our link tree, which is linker.ee/Ladies and Gentledice. We're just starting this episode, so that's a pretty sweet moment for you to be here with us. But if you want to catch up on our previous episodes, they're all up on our YouTube. Sorry, turning my phone off. They're all up on our YouTube at Ladies and Gentledice is our account. And we show our new episodes every other Sunday on Twitch at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And we also do reruns on Wednesdays on Twitch at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So you can catch up with our old stuff and then join us on Twitch, and we'd love to see you.
Thank you so much, Rox. And with that, let's get started. Last we left off, our party has just exited the town of Rowan and has gone looking for their horses, only to find out that 3 of the 4 are missing. Only Maggie, the most loyal of horses, has stayed behind to wait for her master. Bertrand has taken off towards freedom, and Matthew and Sally... And Sally has run off because someone touched her fucking tail. And Bertrand, it's just, it's clopping time. So our party is deciding what to do with that. And before that, we've had a lot of stuff going on. We had a very relaxing and fun night with the Twilight players. We met characters like Amaryllis, who seems to be quite taken with Gnarl, and Tiberius, the flamboyant wizard, and their good friend Amma, the tiefling, who also has a lot going on and a lot of opinions. The last episode was pretty chill. A well-deserved rest for our party after dealing with the likes of the Assassin's Guild, specifically Captain. So, once again, we left off with Maggie and the party in front of the old Assassin's Guild house, safe house that they were once imprisoned in temporarily, and we are deciding what we want to do. What do we want to do, party?
Remind me, I believe the other 2 horses went off in not a direction that we wanted to go in. Damn.
Okay. Yes. So so I believe, as far as I remember, the other 3 took off to the northeast.
Right. Oh, one of them is Keithan's horse.
Yes. Bertrand has run toward freedom, seeming to follow Sally after he accidentally touched her tail.
Right.
And then and Matthew has also seemingly gone that way.
Right. Oh boy. I'd like to go after the horses. Understand if that's not possible.
I mean, yeah, having the horses is convenient, but it might be more valuable for us to go try to find the items that we seek.
Yeah, if they went off in a northwest direction, that's not the direction
Northeast.
we. Oh, I have northwest.
Oh, it might have been northwest last time, but
You want it northeast?
let's go for consistency's sake. We'll say northwest. I'm sorry, guys. Northwest for.
It happened. It's been a minute. It's been, yeah. So
I will
I
say.
think that's the direction we need to go in, and I already told not Captain. Oh gosh, why can't I
Tam?
remember? No, not Tam.
No.
I will say if they went north.
Angry Lady. What is
Juno.
No.
I already told Juno and the stables that I couldn't promise that we could keep the horses alive. Like we would try, but that is not a promise I could keep because shit happens and things get eaten. So
You're right. I don't care much about
Really,
horses. I care about the horses themselves.
really quick, I do want to say if they went northwest, west is the way back towards, is the way back towards Gondoran City and the fire. So, kind of out of your way, kind of not.
Well, I think maybe the last thing now that's coming back to me that we were talking about is, I don't know if I should speak as a player or character right now. All right, I'm just the player right now. Is going back to the trapdoor because that's like the only lead we had.
Right.
So is that's like, I thought that was south of where we are right now. No.
Okay, I have to.
I've got like a really, really basic
I think-
map that I can't.
I think the trapdoor is northwest because we had to go south to Rowan, right? Like southeast, because the road went across, and then we were told, and then it was like a bend or something. I could be wrong.
No, they're okay.
I have like the trapdoor to the west somewhere. That's all I've
So
got.
the trapdoor would so from Gondoran you went east, and you have to go east past the road, till it gets dangerous. That's how you know you're close. So so the road bends. The road would bend toward the south. And so so northwest would be the opposite of that. From Rowan would be northwest.
So the trapdoor and the horses would be on the way.
Hopefully.
Potentially.
I didn't
Xenon, did you ask how long ago they ran off? Did you ask Maggie how long ago they ran off?
You did, and it was around sunrise the previous day, so they had like a good 24 hours on you.
It was a while ago. Yeah, I remember that it was a while ago.
Okay.
I mean, they might not have gone. Am I muted? No, they might not have gone far.
I didn't know if you could sniff them out.
Sally may have just stopped when she got tired. Might not have been that far.
Wasn't sure if you could sniff them out or what.
Sure. Let me see.
I mean, I'm not making you do anything you don't want to do. I'm just throwing out.
I think it's a good idea. Only thing is, I'd prefer to be a creature they wouldn't be scared of. Maybe I'll be I can turn into a bloodhound. That might work nicely.
Teets, did you have something? I'm sorry.
I won't be able to speak once I do that, so we
Right.
should just make sure we solidify our plans before I do that.
Does it help following the tracks that they left?
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Tracks.
I could see if there's tracks. I mean, I've tracked footprints in a forest before, so.
Okay. Well, whoever would like to try and track tracks, give me a survival check.
I am proficient.
I'll help you with that.
So
What's
take
your bonus? Z. Okay, you should take advantage. I've got a +4.
I'm throwing dice.
I roll
Say that one more time, Gnarl.
as well. Is it okay if I roll for that as well?
Oh yeah, you can totally roll. Just advantage was specifically given to Z, so you can roll whatever you like.
Got a 17.
A 17. And what did you get, Gnarl?
Yeah.
I can't. I'm sorry, I can't hear what you're saying.
DM, I did have a general question though.
Yeah, what's up?
I can't remember if I had asked this previously. Did I get the like contract symbol thingy back from Captain? I assumed I had.
I think she gave
but-
them back to you. I'm pretty sure she did.
Okay.
Like she wouldn't. She would have made a big show out of keeping
Of,
it
like,
if she
holding
had done
it,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of what I figured, because I was like, I feel like that would just be something like
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. Like
Yeah,
you have to do this for me, otherwise you're not getting this back.
Yeah. No, she's 100% the
okay.
type. Like, oh look, I've got your authority now.
Yeah. But that was something I wanted to make sure was specified and cleared up, because I was like, I think so, but I don't remember if I had asked this previously.
She did not take it from you. At least not this time.
Yeah.
You look in your bag. It's gone. You hear laughing in the distance. Okay. So with both Gnarl and Z, both the twins did a very good job in tracking. Especially with Fion there to be like, I think this looks like a hoof. And Z going, yeah, that definitely does look like a hoof. That looks like another hoof. You guys are able to track the swift, and also luckily it was a little bit easier to track because there are several horses that fucking took off. There is a large group of tracks, so you guys can follow them to the road, and once you get to the road, one of them splits off down the road. The other two continue into the forest in the same direction to the northwest. I'm sorry.
Well, I think our only option is to head towards the northwest then. The two that stayed together. I'd imagine it's probably Matthew and Sally, though. I say,
That's fine.
looking at Ethan sort of sadly.
Meh. And Keithan I shrug.
You said you were thinking about eating him when he wasn't useful anyways, so.
Well, that's what you do.
No,
Like,
I'm
do you
not
not
knocking
eat
it.
your? Okay.
No, I'm not knocking it. I'm saying I totally would. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he would
Horse
taste
meat
pretty
is
good.
great.
Yeah.
God. See, Bertrand is such an intelligent horse, and I think he might fucking hate Keith.
I can confirm he does.
Yeah. Well, maybe Bertrand just made the lucky choice then.
Yeah. He has shouted freedom. He is now free from what he assumed was going to be his fate. So you guys go into the forest. The trees, it's a lot more light from the day filters through the trees now. When you look out into the horizon, you can kind of see the trees are a lot more sparse now. And you can see scattered, like in the distance, you can see smoke rising from different areas in the forest. So it seems to you that the inferno has died down. There are just smaller burns that need to be snuffed out at this point. But because of all of the ash, it makes the hoofs very easy to follow.
Keithan, if we come across a small fire, are you capable of putting it out?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah,
didn't know if that
at
was a
least
thing.
for pieces of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I prepared that today as well, so.
Okay. I mean, I don't want you to use up too many.
Oh, it's like
Too
the
much
simplest thing. It takes no effort, so there's no problem here.
Perfect. All right, let's keep following these tracks.
All right.
Okay. So you keep following the tracks deep into the forest, and as you do so, you will eventually get to a point where you find some regular feet prints that look kind of small next to the horse hoof prints.
All right.
How small? And is it multiple or is it only one? One's-
Give me another survival check to kind of just determine more information about these smaller feet.
May I as well?
Yeah, of course.
14.
14.
I used my magnetic die and it split in half, so I'm gonna re-roll. It's only 6.
Okay, so with a 14, you definitely know where to go. Oh boy, you definitely know where to go, but determining information about the feet themselves is kind of hard. You can tell it could either be a child or a gnome or a halfling. And there was just one person. That is what you were able to tell. Like, whoever this was of smaller stature.
Can I tell whether it's a halfling or some other kind of creature?
If you would like to give me another survival check, feel free to do so.
18.
Perfect. Yeah, you can tell it is a younger human. You can tell by how thin the feet are and the feet themselves and how the pressure within the footprints. You can tell that it was a younger human.
Well, it's not a halfling. I'd say it's probably a child. Maybe a human child. I don't know. Perhaps they like horses?
Yeah, we may have to convince them to let us get our horses back.
Just one set of footprints, DM?
Just one set of footprints, but the both horse hoof prints seem to follow it.
Okay. Nothing to do with the sun, I suppose.
Okay. So you guys can follow those footprints, and they start going south. And you guys walk for a long while. Eventually, you find a clearing. And this clearing is just bare dirt with a singular kind of burnt out trapdoor in the middle. And
Is this our trapdoor?
sure looks like it. Looks different though.
The trees? Can I see where maybe the cross bolts were in the trees?
So you can see the actually give me a perception check before I tell you all that.
Hey.
I help.
Am I getting help or no?
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
help, because, yeah.
Hey, that's what we're talking about. Natural 20,
Natural
25.
And did
The
you
first roll was pretty good too, but
Teeps, did you roll?
No, I was trying to help
Okay.
General.
Zenral got a lot of help. Everybody was like,
Oh, this looks familiar.
yeah.
This might have worked out.
So, with the natural 20, what you do notice is the trees here are gone. They're nothing besides these kind of kind of petrified husks that are covered in ash around the circle, and you can see the remnants of what you would assume to be crossbows, just these burnt pieces of metal with singed wood. They are completely useless. But something you also notice is are 3 people, 2 of which are familiar to you, and also 2 horses.
The familiar ones.
So, immediately, the first people, the first thing you hear is like, "You guys!" is the first thing you hear, and then immediately, there is a hug around Fion's middle as Tam just gives her the biggest hug.
Tam?
Hi guys! I was helping with the fire, and also I found the horses.
What on earth are you doing here?
I'm helping with the fire.
Tam?
Why did you leave? I'm sorry. You should not be here. This is not safe.
I know I shouldn't, but like I had stuff that could help. I saw all the smoke, and I knew, and I learned some stuff with the wizards at the tower, and I know some stuff that could help. So once most of the blaze died down, I just started, like they're having trouble finding the littler fires. So I started talking to animals, because that's a new thing I learned how to do. I started talking to animals so I could track down like the little flames, and I can also mold earth now, so I could smother them with dirt. And so I've been helping.
Tam, you just ran off? You just left the city and ran off on your own?
No. I was definitely with, the horde of people that came out, the horde of people that came from both the church and the guard from Gondolin.
Right.
Is Juno there, DM?
Juno is not there. However, Varney, her last name, God, Varney Olgar is there. The lead investigator that worked under Juno is there. And she pipes up and says, we've been keeping an eye on him. He there's a lot of us helping, and he was part of a team of part of the small cell of wizards that were charged with tracking down and dousing the smaller flames. He's had supervision most of the time, as far as I know.
All right.
Who's the third person?
The third person is a very large human man. He looks older, probably early 60s, long hair, huge beard. And Varney kind of gestures to him. This is Finbin, or Sergeant Yarrow, Captain Yarrow, she says. These are contractors from Gondolin. Contractors, Keithind, Fionn, Gnarl, and Zenral. This is the captain of the Rowan Guard, Finbin Yarrow.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
Thank you for keeping an eye on this one. And I'll nod my chin at Tam.
He shrugs.
Give Gnarl Go on, give Gnarl a hug.
Oh, Tam is like, Gnarl! It's Zenral! And Keithind! And he gives all of you guys the biggest hugs because, of course, as we remember, Tam is a master at hugs. He gives.
I see where everybody lies on his favorites list.
Yes. Well, I mean, he's a kid. Kids are not afraid of playing favorites. I was here first because I came here first because it was on my way toward the big camp. And he points toward the east, back toward where the road is. I was gonna lead them back there, but I actually stopped here first to see if Lieutenant Olgar and Captain Yarrow needed help or anything. And Varney nods and she says, we've been tasked with investigating the source of the fire, and we have tracked it to this area. As far as we can tell, this area is heavily trapped, and it was likely maybe the trap on this trap door here lit something aflame, and the blaze got out of control, as far as we can tell.
Yeah.
Is what she says.
Gnarl will kind of settle up and actually, that would have been my fault.
No, like, touch like Gnarl's shoulder and be like, we were tracking the assassins in this area, and a fire broke out. I think it might have covered some of their trails.
What do I want to... Do I want to make you roll for that? Because it's kind of a lie.
It's kind of all factual, though.
Okay, I want you... what I want you to roll is... give me a persuasion roll, Keithan. Because you are covering up for what... you were trying to cover up for what Gnarl was saying.
17.
A 17, okay. Varney nods and says, so a fire, do you know how a fire broke out? Can you, if you have information,
I'm not entirely sure. It wasn't clear. We tried to get it away from the flames as soon as possible.
However...
I'm kind of staring at Keithan right now, like, not, like, the gears are turning in Gnarl's head, kind of dealio. Like, should I lie? Should I tell the truth? Should I lie? Should I tell the truth?
Captain Yarrow's eyes kind of narrow at Keithan and Gnarl, and he says, so... You knew there was a fire, but you didn't tell anyone.
It was spreading pretty fast. We had to get out, and the horses weren't with us, so...
It was quite
We were forced to leave.
The fire spread very quickly. It was quite self-explanatory. And there's no one around here to tell.
And then we were pretty much kidnapped, so...
And Varney kind of perks up at that and says, kidnapped?
Assassin's Guild, actually.
They look at each other. And as Z says that, and Varney kind of frowns. All right.
Were you able to disable the trap that's on the store?
It was whatever trap there was on there was broken in the blaze. She kind of points at it, and the orb that was in the middle of the trapdoor is in pieces. Looks like, smoked glass. Like there's like dark edges and stuff. All right. Juno will probably want to hear about this. And Finn and Captain Yarrow goes, probably. And then looks at you guys. You should probably tell her. And Varney is like,
We will when we get back to Gondor, we still have to finish out what our contract is. Like,
Varney looks at you guys and like she's like, well, she's not in Gondor right. Well, most people in charge aren't in Gondor right now. They're actually a few miles down toward the road at the encampment. And then Tam pipes in. He's like, yeah, there's we made a big old camp to kind of strategize about how to get rid of the fire and help everybody that got hurt. Like it's like a little waypoint to help people and get them help real quick so they can get better help in one of the cities.
I'll turn to our group and say, the people we're tracking would not be here anymore after all this kerfuffle. So
definitely not.
We're gonna have to figure out where they've gone off to.
I'm a little curious on where the door leads. And I just kind of look to Z.
Yeah, me too.
So the trapdoor is open and it's dark down there.
60 feet of dark vision?
Yes, so you can see down there. It looks like there is a dirt floor. There is now a ladder leading down. That looks newer. Varney kind of speaks up and she says, We've done a preliminary investigation of the area. There's not a lot left, but there is some things. What we found are remnants of clothes. We found several mirrors. It's an odd little place. That anything, unfortunately, any valuable information is probably gone because paper burns up quick. So we do see the remnants of pieces of paper, but they're like, there's not a lot.
Zanarl, you might want to go down and check it out anyway, just in case there's something down there that makes sense to us that wouldn't to others.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I'll start climbing down the ladder.
Okay. So, you climb down the ladder, and this place smells terrible. Like, it smells like a fire. Does anybody else go down with you?
I wanted to. Okay, cool.
Okay, so who is all going down?
I'm curious to go down, actually, but I'll just do a little torchy thingy.
Okay, so Keithan's going down, Z is going down. Gnarl, are you going down?
Yes.
Okay, Gnarl's going down, and Fionn is sticking around with Tam and everybody else.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out the horses, make sure they're okay.
Okay. So the horses, really quick before I tell you what you really want to hear, the horses are Sally and Bertrand, actually.
Oh
no!
Matthew, why? You're so dumb. You're so dumb, Matthew.
It makes sense, though. He can just ride to his heart's content. It's always clopping time now.
Flop it into the sunset. Oh, buddy.
Tam.
He's gonna get eaten.
Hundo P gonna get eaten is a wolf snack. Yep.
Tam joins Fionn and is like, I talked to them, and Bertrand is really unhappy that I found them, but Sally's fine. They said that Matthew, whoever that is, Matthew went home. Like when he saw the road, he just went home.
Correct me if I'm wrong, DM, but his footprints went east, didn't they?
What you remember is when you saw the road, they went off towards the road to Gondorin is what you saw.
They went the opposite direction.
No.
Okay, on the road. I was like, oh, you're so dumb. Oh, good for him. All right, maybe he'll make it home. And neither of the horses are hurt.
Neither. Sally looks disheveled.
Right.
And so does Bertrand. Neither of them looks hurt, but Sally looks disheveled and a little traumatized. But Bertrand just looks fucking grumpy. Like, if you get close to him, he's like, and looks away.
I'll give him this snack from my pocket. See if that helps.
He looks at it, looks at you, looks at the snack. He takes the snack and then immediately looks away.
Such a sassy horse.
So close to freedom. So, Team 2, going down the ladder. Keithan, you have a little flame that allows you to see. So, as you get down to the basement or the cellar or the whatever of this place, and it is mostly a burnt out husk of what might have been there before the fire. There is there's remnants of a bed, there's remnants of a dresser, there are broken and smoked out mirrors. Not everywhere, like there's just enough to be weird. Like there are like 4 mirrors in this main room. And next to one of the mirrors seems to be a closet that has the remnants of a lot of clothes. And near the top of one of the walls, you do see the remnants of paper. And if you would like to know anything more, please give me an investigation check.
Can I try to look for anything useful down here, like gold or silver, copper?
Feel free to do so. Give me an investigation roll, and I'll let you know.
I rolled a 10. I was mostly curious if it seems that the fire, like the burning, seemed to be caused by somebody, or if it seems like it actually, like the fire carried down, because I'm imagining that it was specifically done to destroy any evidence.
Okay, you got a 10?
I got a 10, so.
I got a 22.
You got a 22?
4.
A 4. Okay, so, for you, Keithan, it's really hard to tell. You see the remnants of a ladder, and you're like, oh, maybe it, like, either is possible. Like, it could be the fire ate down the ladder and then went up. But is there anything specifically you're looking for, Z?
I guess maybe the usual, like some hidey holes, looking at the paper to see if there's any useful information on it. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's about it.
So, and it was a 22? Perfect. Okay, so you notice a lot of stuff. You look into the closet, and the first thing you notice is, like, while most of these clothes are burnt out, they vary wildly in size. And there are several different styles of clothes. You see the remnants of what looks to be very fancy robes, some that looks like they might have been armor at one point, some that you are pretty sure would have been rags even before the fire happened, and some that are just commoners' clothes that are now mostly nothing. You look up at the pieces of paper, the burnt pieces of paper, and you see it's hard to piece them together, but there are pieces of paper, And while none of them are connected to each other, you can gather with a 22, what you gather based on looking at all of these several different pieces of different things is they look like they might have been drawings of faces. All faces of all different people. None of these drawings fit together, but they are all definitely pieces of faces that you are seeing. The last thing you notice, as you are inspecting under the burnt out dresser, is that there is a small bit of disturbed dirt that seems particularly loose. And also, for clarification, the bottom or the floor of this place is dirt. It's just like, this seems just to be like a hollowed out, like, mud hidey hole. And you guys are very lucky it didn't collapse.
Can I move the dresser?
Yeah, you can totally move the dresser. It's actually very easy because most of the dresser is gone. So
what do I see on the floor and or wall?
So you don't really see anything on the wall, but on the ground you do see, like, under the ash, it looks like it doesn't look recent. It doesn't look like someone just dug up, like, in the past couple of days, but the mud here looks patted down rather than just part of the floor around it.
Can I start, like, scooping the dirt out of that area?
Your hands get very dirty. It's super gross. Eventually,
I'm pretty used to it.
Eventually, you're as you're kind of just, like, scooping dirt out from this area, you do come upon the handle of a little metal box.
You know I'm lifting that bitch up.
Yep, you lift up this little metal box, and it looks like a little strong box with a handle on it and a lock.
Can I unlock the said lock? Can I unlock this lock?
You can definitely do so.
What do you need me to roll?
So for locks, it's do you have a lock picking kit? I do know you have those. So it is your dexterity plus proficiency. It's a dexterity check. No, wait. Yes, it's a dexterity check plus your proficiency. So whatever you have in dex plus 2, I believe. You guys are still 2 in proficiency.
That's a mod 20.
That's a mod 20. Okay, cool. So you work out to unlock this. You work out picking the lock, and you hear it click, and the lock falls off.
I was about to ask, oh no, is that a bad click? Oh shit.
No, it's a good click, but as soon as you open it, I'm going to need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Uh-oh. It's a 5.
It's a 5. Okay. So, as you are unlocking this thing, you unlock it, you open it. What you didn't notice and forgot to check for was the needle that was right behind the opening of the box. And you are struck with a needle of poison.
I get a new facial piercing.
Yep, that's right. So hold on, let me get. Okay, so. Sorry, I gotta get all my dice out. So what's gonna happen here is you're going to take a D4 from from the needle and 2d6 poison damage. So, 3 damage from the needle as it sticks right in your cheek, and then an additional 10 poison damage. And you are now poisoned, which means you will now, until you receive an antidote or take a long rest, you have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. But it's open, and you can see papers inside. And a little bit of money. And there's about... Say that one more time, Teeps.
I was just being a gremlin. I was just like, money.
So
how much money and what papers?
you find about 50 gold. And the papers seem to be identification for several different people. If you'd like to do an additional investigation check, you can check if they're real or not.
$15.
15. You cannot tell the difference. They look pretty fucking real to you, but there's still there's the possibility that they are just very, very good fakes.
I don't know how to forge.
Yeah. So you can't really tell. What you can tell is the average guard would not question it. But
I was just curious on the papers that Z found if they seem similar to the ones that were burnt, or if those were 2 different types of papers.
So what I will tell you is they are 2 different kinds of papers. Like
cool.
These they just seem to be drawings of people. Were the pictures or were the pieces that you found around everywhere. These are like identification papers. These are birth certificates. These are a couple of them seem to be like letters to enter Gondoran. So they aren't just random people. There are a lot of different names on them as well. Well, that goes without saying. Mm-hmm.
Will you remind me what poison condition is again?
Disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. So saving throws you're fine, but if you try to hit anything or any more checks, have disadvantage.
What'd you do to your face?
Yeah, it's like swollen now, and it looks super gross.
You might need Fionn to check that out. It does look pretty
you got like
disgusting.
these spidery veins coming out of like the hole in your in your cheek. Say that
Did you find anything?
Did you know on Zoom you have to be on the box to be able to use the spacebar to unmute yourself? I said, yeah, I was trying to see if I had anything in my pack to solve this problem, but I do not, so... Oh well. Oh, and yes, I found some money, and I found these identification papers.
Do any of the identifications look familiar, or do any of the names sound familiar?
Well, one of them is to get into Gondoran, so there's that. DM, do I recognize any of the other papers? Are they people, or is it just like to get into cities, or?
They're like, they are the kind of things that, like, if someone was checking into your identity, they are things to prove you are who you are.
For the photos, the face drawings that are burnt, there's nothing left that would give an idea? I know since our Assassin's Guild are able to change their facial features, I'm wondering if they're styled after these drawings to ideally like mask what they look like, and if they try to burn the evidence of what their faces look like now.
Can you repeat that question for me one more time?
Okay, so you had mentioned that there was sketches of faces that have been burnt. I'm wondering if there's any paper left to discern like a bit of facial features.
Okay.
Since us meeting the Assassin's Guild know that they can just take on nondescript facial features, right. So I'm wondering if these are used as templates to be like, hey, disguise yourself to look like this, and then they're burning the evidence.
Okay. Give me a raw intelligence check.
Okay. 18.
So, while they are nondescript faces, none of them look familiar based on the faces you saw from Captain and Lieutenant when they became nondescript people. But at the same time, I will say because you got a relatively high, a pretty high intelligence check, you can kind of put together that like you don't really need to know a face to use like a disguise self item, like that it'll basically come up with a face for you. You don't really need to know it. So it's kind of weird that there are so many drawings of faces around here. It doesn't seem like a disguise self kind of thing, unless these are specific people.
Maybe they're wanted posters, like wanted faces for the Assassin's Guild to take, like to murder, you know.
Maybe. Just if they burnt it, it had to have been a reason for it.
Why don't we ask Varney and Finben, whatever Captain dude's name is up there, if they recognize any of these IDs.
All right, and I'll try to collect all the papers as gently as I can.
Yes.
I have everything from the lockbox, so.
Okay. Are you pocketing the money?
Yeah.
We're 50 gold richer.
I'll probably split it up with the party later, but yeah, I'm definitely pocketing the money.
Okay, so you come back up, and Tam and Fionn are up there. Varney is also there. She is actually kind of like relatively close to the to the entrance, kind of like peering down. And Captain Finben, Captain Yarrow, I like his first name better than I like his last name, so I keep wanting to just call him by his first name, because I think Finben is just a real fun name. But Captain Yarrow, he has like his arms crossed, and he's looking like a little gruff, just leaning on a tree, waiting for you guys. And as you guys come up, Varney like raises her eyebrows. So, find anything interesting?
A needle in a lock.
Oh, wow. You should get that looked at.
I will.
She says.
I found some identification paperwork.
You did?
I'll pass it over to her, because why do I need to keep this?
She'll take it, and she flips through it and says, I'll check in the records department and see if these match anybody in our census, and see if there's somebody that's just hiding as a citizen in Gondorin or Bayberry.
But we didn't really find anything else. Sketches of people's faces, but those have been burned and or torn up. A lot of clothes down there, which you guys have already seen. Nothing really of use.
Interesting.
I'll go over to Varney with the sketches of the faces. Have you recognized any of these lately?
Um,
And then I'm also watching like her facial expression to see like insight check.
okay, give me your insight check, please.
Okay. Yeah, that's a d20. Ooh, nat 20.
Ooh,
So,
a nat 20.
22.
Okay, so she's looking at these papers and has this thinking frown on her face. And from what you can tell, it doesn't look suspicious or anything. She doesn't look like she's like trying to come up with a lie. And she kind of sighs. She says, "Some of these look familiar, but I can't tell if they're familiar because I have actually seen them before or if because they are very non-specific." And she kind of shakes her head, looking a little frustrated. And she's like, "Also, they're just pieces of faces. And all of these are nondescript. It's going to be very difficult to decide or to determine what else is there." And like for the first time, you kind of see like she has some soot on her face, and she just looks tired. Right now, tired and frustrated.
Well, thank you. I wanted to at least check. I know you've probably been around a lot more people the last couple days, so if anything jogged your memory.
Right. Well, I'll keep thinking on it. In the meantime, if you're done here, you should go see Juno. If you have information on the fire, she's gonna want to know.
Zenerol, what happened to your face?
I got hit in the face with a dart.
I come running over.
And Varney also says you're probably going to want to get that checked out also. There are medics at the tent. Well, you can do things, but there are also medics there if you can't.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll cast Cure Wounds at first level on Zenerol.
Okay.
So I was like, get rid of my poison condition or just give me hit points?
It just gives you hit points. It'll heal up your face a little bit, but I don't have Lesser Restoration prepared right now. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, so you might have to you're going to have to find either someone with Lesser Restoration or take a long rest. However, feel free to roll for roll for healing. Yes.
Yeah. The poison will wear off, but I can at least get your face fixed up a bit. That's 10 points of healing. Back to you.
And so Fionn touches your face, and it burns like it did back in the dungeon. You feel yourself, the wound closes up a little bit, and you feel a little bit better, but not as good as you feel like you should be. You take 5 points of healing.
I look at Vienna and go, ow, and ow.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Didn't go very well, did it?
But no.
All right. So whatever you're suffering from, you're still suffering from it.
Yeah, I had a question about that, and I guess this just answers it, huh?
I suppose so. I won't try it again.
Tam.
Okay.
Oh, what was that, Teeps?
Z, they mentioned some medics. Maybe they can help you.
Yeah, I'll go see one and see what happens.
Tam kind of frowns. Wait, is there something going on? Why didn't it work?
No, don't worry.
Oh, no, it worked. It's fine. I just gotta get this poison out of my system, Tam.
Give me a
It's
deception
okay.
check.
I'm nodding along and saying, don't worry about it. It's just the poison.
Okay. A deception check with it. Well, actually, one regular deception check because you would normally have disadvantage. You're being helped by Fionn, but because you were poisoned, you have disadvantage, so that makes it a flat roll.
12.
A 12? Okay, give me 1 second. I gotta pull up Tam's character sheet and see how good his insight is.
I want to whisper to Gnarl, that I want to find a library.
I'll keep an eye out. I'll whisper back. In orc.
Yeah, talk in order. There we go.
What was your roll one more time?
12.
Tam frowns at you, but says, "Okay." Well, then let's go. I can lead you guys back to the camp if you want.
Maybe we'll find the other horse as we walk by.
We'll keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out.
Okay.
But I'll get the Sally and Bertrand, lead them along, and Maggie just follows me.
Bertrand is very grumpy about it. He kind of resists for a moment, but then looks at Keith and you feel like a little shiver go down his spine as he hesitantly follows you.
Maybe we'll give someone else a chance to ride you.
Okay. So with Tam and Captain Yarrow and Lieutenant Varney Olgar following behind you, you guys make your way back to the camp. And they're on the road, near to where the bend in the road is, where you guys, went to go find the trapdoor initially, is a massive encampment that is spanning past the road into the burnt out forest. Luckily, there is now room for that because most of the trees are gone. You guys, so off to the side of the road, they're not so much tents as they've got like little tent covers. There's several people suffering from various burns, on laying on beds. Some are eating what looks and smells like a very delicious stew. And there are healers rushing around wearing the robes of Gondor clerics from Gondolin. And there are several other peoples with wizards' robes also running around like chickens with their heads cut off. And there's one like full tent just kind of off to the side. But you do, as you guys approach, someone that is serving the stew looks up and smiles and waves, and it is Ben Michael. And he waves at you guys. He's like, "Oh, it's so good to see you guys. Oh, you don't look injured. I'm so happy to see you."
Well, I'm assuming my cheek is still a little.
Well, yeah. You guys look uninjured. You guys look better than I assumed you would. He says.
I give Ben Michael like a genuine smile and like a little wave.
He waves.
Is he cooking something, or is he just helping people? Like,
he isn't cooking anything, but he is serving the stew that you saw, some of the injured people eating, and.
Oh, I'm gonna get myself a plate of stew.
Yeah. Feel free to get yourself a plate of stew, and immediately he's like, oh yes, have as much as you want, and he will give you like this huge hearty bowl.
Yes.
Like as he's like trying to give all of you the bowl, Varney like crosses her arms and is like, "Are you done? We've
grab a couple, like, and I like pass one to like Z and Gnarl and Fionn and Tam, and like I just take whatever has like the largest helping for myself. But yeah, I'll pass out food. I don't care about whatever. Yeah. Varney, like, I'm gonna get my food first.
Right, Varney is like urging you guys along because food is not the focus right now.
Nah, I'm not really letting myself get rushed.
And
My cheek hurts, damn it. I want it to feel better.
Yeah. Ben Michael, can you do anything about that? Do you know anybody that can?
let me see. Now I gotta pull up Ben Michael's character sheet that I.
I've tried your standard sort of healing spells on it, and it doesn't seem to work very well. So, like cure wounds, that
Well,
sort of, it's not working very well. Perhaps a restoration spell or something like that.
Me specifically, I cannot. I don't. I'm not quite there yet, as you could say. However, we do so have some higher level clerics with us, and also Grinda Starfock. She's likely with the mayor of Rowan and Juno in that tent over there, and she can definitely do a restoration if you need it.
Why don't
Which,
we?
what was that?
Why don't we try one of the higher level clerics first? I don't want to bother Miss Sarfox. She's got a lot on her plate already. What do you think, General?
Yeah.
All right, we can go over and try to find still nomming stew.
Okay.
Find someone who can help out.
Varney.
Also eating my stew.
Varney and Finbin, they Finbin, who looks even more grumpy than Varney, says, "Are you dying?"
I mean, there's a chance. There's poison coursing through my veins right now. I'm not going to be any good to you if I've got poison in my system.
He narrows his eyes.
Get in between them because that pissed me off, and I'm like seizing him up and down kind of thing.
Okay, give me an insight check.
Yeah, I whirled around and I'm just like trying to figure out what his shit is, what his deal is. Like, is he mad at us?
17.
A 17. Okay. So what you learn about Captain Yarrow or Finbin Yarrow is he is very suspicious of you guys. He is like, he has real old school cop vibes, and you can kind of tell that like he's you rolled pretty high, so you can tell he thinks that you guys are guilty of something. He doesn't know what, but he definitely thinks you guys are stalling right now because you're trying to hide something.
I just have poison in my system and I'd like it out, please.
He rolls his eyes.
Are you joking? We gotta get our friend fixed up before we do anything else. Nothing's more important than your health. Come on, Z.
I'm like drinking my stew. I'm not even using a spoon.
Okay, so Ben Michael, looking uncomfortable, takes.
Thank you, Ben. It was good to see you.
He nods. Of course, it's always great to see you. Here, if you go here, and he leads you to another dwarf, with gray in his beard, and he looks like a very jolly older man. He says, "This is Thalamir Darkstone. He's one of the professors at the academy, and he should be able to do something." Professor Darkstone, and the man smiles and waves. "Ah, yes, Mr. Ben. It's very nice to see you, and it looks like you have friends." "Oh dear. I see. Maybe a tussle with a spider with some spines, or
Poison dart, actually.
Poison darts. They will do that to you, won't they? All right. He like kind of rubs his hands. If you don't mind sitting down for me, please, dear."
I'll sit down, still with my stew in the one hand, but waiting patiently.
Okay. He again rubs his hands and closes his eyes as he like kind of covers the divot in your cheek, and begins muttering a prayer to Gonder. And as he does so, there is a warm glow on your face that again gets hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter.
I'm just like squeezing my eyes shut. I'm not saying anything. I'm just like taking it.
And he begins to frown as boils start to form on your face, and the pain is excruciating.
Falls out of my hand.
And he, as soon as he starts seeing these bubbles pop up on your face, he takes his hands away and says, I've never seen anything like it. Really quick, Z, you are going to take... You're lucky. You take one radiant damage, despite how excruciating that fucking what happened to you was. Professor Darkstone, he looks very troubled. Ben looks shocked. Tam looks shocked and worried, and they all just kind of look at each other, and Z, you do not feel better. In fact, you feel much worse.
I was just gonna look at Gnarl and I'm gonna say they're really gonna be able to tell the difference between the two of us now.
Don't joke about that.
Start laughing. Keithan openly laughing.
Keithan is laughing. Okay, and Tam was like, Keithan, don't laugh.
Z's trying to make light of the situation and like hide her pain and the fact that she feels like shit.
Why not laugh, Tam? Z was right.
But she looks really hurt. What's up, Fionn?
I say to the professor, I'm concerned that my friend here might have been cursed. Do you know anyone or yourself who can remove a curse?
Well, it's
like dealing with some higher level magic here.
He frowns and looks. If it is a curse, I've never seen anything like it before. It might require some sort of greater restoration, which is outside of my purview. You may have to speak with Grenda, Headmistress Sarfok, about this. She's she's the most powerful cleric I know.
Right.
If it's as... Dear, I am so sorry. I had no idea.
Is my poison gone?
The black spindly bits are gone.
Oh, I'm not poisoned. I just have ugly boils on my face, and I took 1 radiant damage.
Yep.
Wait,
And
sweet.
I would say you feel physically sick. You no longer have the mechanical disadvantages, but you don't feel good.
But I want it. That's fine.
Yes.
Do you have an ice pack?
Yes, we do. And he gestures to Ben, and Ben like nods and like rushes away and comes back with like a very cool bag, not necessarily an ice pack, but for you to put on your face, and it feels soothing.
All right. Well, let's, I guess, go see Juno.
Tam nods, and so does Thalamir and everybody else. And Varney and Finbin will follow you, as well as Tam. But Ben and Thalamir will stay behind because they got shit to do. Actually, no. I'm going to say Professor Darkstrand Thalamir will follow you as well to kind of explain to Grenda what just happened. And you guys are led to the one covered tent, and inside, well, with all the people you're with, it's kind of packed in there. You guys do see Juno, and you see Grenda, and you also see someone else that you've never met. He looks to be like a kind of a bigger guy, a pudgier guy with gray balding hair, several rings on his finger. He looks high class, but
he wasn't one of the ones introduced at the council hearing?
No, he was not.
Okay.
Everybody looks up to see you, and Varney says, "We have updates." And Thalamir speaks up. It seems like we have much to speak about. Updates for Mrs. Gwent. Like, as he kind of stutters as Juno narrows her eyes at him. Ms. Gwent. And Juno nods. Yes. And he refocuses on Grenda and says, and also it seems like this one here has a high-level issue with a curse of some kind. Initially there was poison, but and I cast a lesser restoration as is protocol, but he kind of points to the boils on, or he gestures to you actually to kind of like lower the ice pack, if you would please, thank you. That. And sorry. And Grenda, with her, it's kind of hard to discern emotion on her dragonborn face, but she does seem to frown and nod. Yes, it does seem like there's much to discuss. Thank you very much, Thalamir. If you would please return to your post. He nods, and Juno looks at Varney and Finbin and kind of waves them off. Finbin glares and hesitates before slowly leaving, and Varney doesn't seem to have a problem with it. Juno looks at you guys with a deep frown on her face, but answers or speaks calmly. Good to see you, I guess. This, you haven't met him. This is Roland Verand. He is the mayor of Rowan. He's come to, we're all trying to help this situation. First, I guess let's deal with the curse situation, Grenda. And Grenda says, well, I may need some moment to look. Do you mind, dear? Actually, if you don't mind, we can step aside and you can interview the rest of the group. Is that all right?
Yeah, I believe, my party will be fine.
Okay. So, Grenda will lead Zeneral out of the tent, leaving Juno and Roland with the rest of the party. Juno looks at Roland. These are contractors that I have hired. Do you mind if I take a moment to ask them a few questions alone? It's private Gondoran business. The man looks at all of you kind of confused a little bit, like, okay, before nodding. Yes, I suppose it's time for me to check on how my men are doing out there. I will be back later. He kind of straightens his robe before exiting. So we're gonna start off with Grenda and Tara, and Z. You guys are currently sitting. Like across the way from the tent that everybody else is in. You're sitting in a little wooden chair that's kind of uncomfortable, and Grenda currently has like what looks to be a tiny spyglass with some like yellow glass in it that you don't really recognize. And she like holds it to her eye as she inspects your cheek and frowns with her dragony face. Actually, no, because headcanon, Dragonborn, it's very hard for them to make human-seeming facial expressions because they do not have human facial muscles. So,
have you seen Dragonheart? He made a lot of very expression faces.
I think Dragonborn can make a lot of expressions with their faces, but they are different from human facial expressions. And
I'm sorry, I was just giving you credit.
No, it's totally okay. I love that. Grenda, you can see Grenda kind of like flick her tongue out, and she looks kind of annoyed as she like it's very quick tongue flicks that seem weirdly lizard-like, but you're like, well, I guess dragons and lizards are kind of similar in their way. Don't ever say that to a lizard folk, though. Eventually she lowers the little spyglass and sighs. You have a lot of necrotic energy all over you. It's very powerful. It's not something I have seen before. Well, first I should ask, what do you believe cursed you?
First, I should ask, should I even trust you?
I'm sorry?
Ran into some assassins, and they found out some information about a very private conversation we had.
I'm sorry? There...
Yeah. I am going to look around. Are there like orcs or anybody that looks like they might be listening to our conversation?
Please make me a perception check.
15.
A 15? It does not, at this moment, it does not look like anybody's listening in.
And I'm going to ask her, do you speak any other languages? Orc? Undercommon?
I know many other languages. I've dedicated my life towards, well, beyond the study of being a cleric of Gondor and cooking. I have declared my life to academia, so I know many languages. Yes.
I am strict. I'm going to switch to orc. So everything I say is going to be in orc.
Okay. You switch to orc, and she seems to follow you, and she speaks orc. She seems to understand you, and she is able to speak to you, but it is a little clumsy. It doesn't seem like she's fluent in orc, but she can follow along your conversation.
It's like classroom orc versus native orc.
Yes, it is just like that.
Okay.
She says, I am sorry. I did not know about she sighs, seems a little frustrated, and then says, I must have spy in my home.
Potentially, because that private conversation got us into a lot of trouble. And it's pretty sure what caused whatever is going on with this.
I greatly apologize for transgression. I will do investigation post haste. It's she seems to think upon her wording very carefully. I do not tie to anything. Orcish, not my specialty, she says. But I will find disloyalty soon. I am sorry.
Okay. I just wanted you to know, like, I am a little hesitant on trusting you at the moment, but you did give me a book, so I'll give you some leeway. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but I want you to know that I am suspicious.
As makes sense. That makes sense. Yes.
So, to give you a tiny bit of background, another assassin, a couple of them, and I'm sure you will hear this from Juno later, kidnapped us, talked to us about some things, and then I'm assuming he pretty much kidnapped us, led us to Rowan, went to a graveyard, got into a mausoleum, and was attacked by a revenant, question mark?
A revenant?
Yeah.
Inside of a mausoleum.
That's what the assassin told me it was. I don't know anything about revenants. I don't know. We got into a fight with it, and I killed it, but then it let out a yell and put me unconscious, and I've been having some issues since.
Why were you in... and we're still speaking in Orcish, correct? Okay. Why were you in mausoleum?
Well, part of that is due to the secret conversation we had, looking for items.
She frowns deeply.
And
in a lizardly way.
Come to find out, this mausoleum led to a temple of Atha.
Did you find item? Was there item there? If it was about conversation we had, was there item?
You kind of see Z like think about it. Half of an item.
Grenda nods. May I have book, please?
I will pass the book off.
I have idea what may be happening to you. And she swiftly goes through many pages. She leafs through these pages and turns it around and shows you the book. Please read.
I will read it.
As you're reading something, you see an entry about 2 items of Matha, a sheath and a dagger. They are meant to go together, but not in the way that you might think. What you one is meant to kill anything. The other is the opposite of that, in a way, to make sure one cannot die. However, like the gods, like everything, there has to be balance. There cannot be immortality without its drawbacks. And so basically what it means is, and what it tells you is that the sheath, while it keeps people alive, they lose their ability, or they are kept alive with necrotic magic. They cannot die, but healing becomes much more difficult. They become resistant to the opposite, to the other side of necrotic energy, radiant energy, and magic associated with that radiant energy. They become resistant and sometimes hurt by those spells. However, it seems as though their own healing abilities, their body's ability to repair itself, still works as it should.
Still an orc. I'll go, well, I guess that makes sense.
Yes. Be very careful. If you were to lose arm, no one will reattach. It makes, while you are immune to death, but not to pain, not to
That's
injury.
obvious.
Yes, what I mean is, if there's the potential to live in agony, even if you are hurt too bad, you will not die. You will live, no matter what, unless someone else were to take this from you.
All right. So there's nothing that can be done about this.
Unless someone else were to take it.
I can't stow it away in a 5th dimension pocket and it not affect me.
Have you touched it with your bare hands? Obviously. It is.
Yeah.
It is connected to you now.
Look. I guess that answers some things.
Yes, I am deeply sorry for everything.
You really need to re-secure your office.
I will do so. With that, we are going to pan the camera over into the tent where the rest of the party, with Keithan, Fionn, and Gnarl, in the tent with Juno, who is looking down at a map that has been pinned to a small table in front of her. She She's quiet as she looks down at the map, and her her hands tighten their grip on the edges of the table. She takes a deep breath, and she's not looking at any of you. She's looking down at the map. Go east, past the road. When it gets dangerous, you know you're close, she says. That's what the dead man told you. Well, told us. We, as you know, found the source of the fire. We found that trapdoor. Please tell me you didn't do this. She looks up at all of you. She looks tired. She looks like shit. Organizing all of this has taken its toll, and you guys saw, you know, how many people were hurt, how many people were coming in.
We were searching for the assassins. We were led to the center. There was many traps in the area. I know I was paralyzed for a while when the fire had broken out. Our team tried to get us all out as soon as possible.
Gnarl's shaking their head and steps forward. The fire is my fault entirely.
That's not accurate.
Shut up, Keithan.
It's not. The Assassin's Guild was, in a sense, partly to blame as well. We did find out that...
We didn't find out until afterwards. It was my decision.
Juno stares at Gnarl, and she closes her eyes. She looks disappointed. She looks heartbroken. And she looks a lot of things. She looks like she's trying to process what you've just told her. And she, like, her arms are shaking on the table.
We spent a long time, quite a long time at the clearing, trying everything we could think of. Checking the trees, checking the trapdoor. Clearly there was something in the trees.
So
we spent a long time.
There was something in the trees, and
I didn't think that it would cause as much destruction as it did. My only thought was smoking out whoever it was, and I had assumed that it would be them because it felt like we were very close to them. But in the end, it was entirely my fault.
Neither Keith and Nora were equipped to push it.
I was paralyzed, so I wasn't able to assist in the spreading, which was what my intention was.
And I simply didn't have the resources on me at the time to prevent it from spreading.
It isn't their fault.
God damn it. God damn it. I don't know what to say. 16 people are dead that we know of. It a lot more people are hurt, and you know what, it doesn't, I'm stalling because I don't want Juno sighs and she places manacles on the table. It'll look better for you if you come willingly. Gnarl.
Juno.
I'm guilty of this, so I'll like put my wrists out.
What is the process here? Come where?
Well, she gently puts the manacles on Gnarl's wrists. Well, there's going to be a trial. There's going to be witnesses. There's going to be victims. There's going to be council members, officials from both Rowan and Gondorin, and representatives from those that live in the forest, where the leaders of each said place will take stock of what happened and your story, and they will decide what to do with all of us.
Is there any other way? I've rarely in my life seen a person as sorry as Gnarl is about this.
And that's good for their cause. But a lot of people were involved. A lot of people were affected by this. And I cannot... It is absolutely not my place to decide what happens here. I can't do that. I can't do that to them. And it's not just you that is fucked here. You were acting, whether or not I never said start a fire, I was still the one that hired all of you. So this is on me too. So I can't, as soon as I turn Gnarl in, there's not anything I can do.
What are the consequences for such a thing?
Well,
in Gondorin?
In Gondorin, it depends. It depends on a lot of things. It's none of it good. Honestly, the best chance here that I know of is you could be She thinks on it for a while. If someone decides that you seem sorry enough that she really didn't mean it, maybe they can figure out something for you to do as penance under very close watch. But if they're not feeling particular, if they're angry, if they're feeling vengeful, you could end up at the gallows.
Who is they?
People that lost
Yes,
the destruction.
It's not just Gondoran that was affected here. It was the people of the forest. It was Rowan. There's going to be people from both those places involved in the trial.
I put my hand on Gnarl's back. Just.
I don't know if it makes any difference, but shortly after the incident, we were taken by the Assassin's Guild.
I don't know if that makes anything better.
For us.
We weren't able to assist with the spreading or handle any other things.
I wanted to.
Okay. My advice is, well, if it were up to me, if anything were up to me, I would try and do something, but I already know, I can tell you right now that they will not allow me as part of this process as someone that hired you. Not only is there a massive conflict of interest, but also I'm probably going to lose rank for this.
You're all innocent. You all didn't do anything.
It doesn't matter. Unfortunately, I've been here a long time. I've been in Gondoran. I've been working in Gondoran for a long time. It doesn't matter that I didn't tell you to start a fire. It doesn't matter that I wasn't there when you started the fire. The fact is, I hired you to work for the city, and a fire happened that killed a lot of people. And if I hadn't hired you, there probably wouldn't have been a fire. So, my ass is here too.
You also have a bunch of murders happening in your city. You hired people who became targets to try to help because we found out information. Is there a way to word this so that at least they, and I'll look at Fionn and Keithan, aren't tied to any of it?
I really hope. Well, I'm only arresting you, Gnarl, because you said you and you alone started the fire, and the rest weren't able to stop it. So, if that's the case, I'll only bring you. And that's honestly, that's the best I can do in this situation, is not arrest all of you, because a lot of people are angry. A lot of people are hurt. And having someone to blame makes it easier.
I understand that.
All right. You guys, the rest of you, or Keith and Fionn, you're free to come with me. General will probably want to know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be better. It'd probably be best coming from Gnarl in this case.
I'll let you explain to General what happened, she says to Gnarl, and she can decide if she wants to follow us or not, and then we are headed back to Gondorin. Okay.
I know I don't have a right to ask for anything, but can I tell her without these on?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Dirty 20.
Okay. All right. That's fine. She will unlock your manacles. But I will be coming with you. And then... All right. Would you like to do this privately? And she looks at you and then at Keithan and Fionn.
Yes.
Okay. If you don't mind waiting, we will be back. And with like kind of with a gentle hand on Gnarl's forearm, she will gently lead you out to out of the tent and across the way, where General and Grenda seem to be finishing their conversation, and Juno will give Grenda kind of a hard stare and say, "Can we have a moment, Headmistress Starfog?" And Grenda will look between everyone before nodding graciously. "Of course, I will do something else," she says.
Thank you, Grenda.
Yes, of course.
Did she hand me back the book?
Yes, of course. She looks at you very seriously. Be careful.
I will be doing more research.
Good. She obviously not knowing what's going on leaves. With kind of an odd glance towards Juno, who is uncharacteristically silent.
Can I do like an inside check? I guess I'm assuming I would notice Juno being very stern.
Yeah, feel free to do an insight check.
I am going to have my body language as very carefree almost.
13.
Like, it's a very performative thing.
Okay. So you see your twin, who has very carefree body language, and it's odd because on the one hand, your twin seems fine. They seem like everything's hunky-dory, but you look at Juno and just Juno's face says something is very, very wrong. And you're about to hear something. You can, with a 13, because Juno is not very good at hiding her emotions, you can tell whatever's about to happen is something that you're not going to like.
What's going on?
Juno looks up at Gnarl. Go ahead.
I'll walk towards Z, and I will grab her hand, the opposite one of my main hand, and I'll hold her hand. And I'll do some light tapping on her hand. I'm gonna go with Juno. I told Juno the truth, and I'm gonna face the consequences for what I did. And I'll say an orc, don't even try to fucking take the blame for this shit. Don't try to cover up for me. Don't try to protect me. And I'll do like a signal with my eyes that Z would know from growing up. Run.
What?
Don't come back.
I'm gonna look at Juno and go, what's happening?
Juno says, well, we know why there's a fire. Her eyes kind of flick toward Gnarl. So everybody that has been affected is going to decide what to do with the person that started the fire. And that's about it.
I'll look at Gnarl. And in orc, I'm gonna say why. Why did you? We could have gotten out of this. We could have blamed this on the Assassin's Guild easily.
I don't want to blame other people anymore.
How am I going to get you out of this?
You're not. You're gonna move on.
Not possible.
You have things going on that are bigger than us that I don't understand.
You're a part of this, though.
We'll find out. I might not be anymore.
We're going to get you out of this.
No, you're not. You're not going to get in trouble. You're not going to do anything.
How do you know? We were there with you. We could get
You're not
blamed for this just as much as you.
I'll do the eye signal again for run. Don't look back.
We're going to get you out of this.
No. I don't want you to.
With that, Juno looks between the two. So, are you ready? You're muted.
Oh. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's go. And Gnarl smiling.
Okay. With that, Juno silently puts manacles on Gnarl. I'll save you the spiel, she says. And looks at Zenral. Your friends already know they were there for the thing. You can, if you really want to, you can attend the trial. You and your friends will likely be called as witnesses. It might be better for Gnarl, if you would. It might be helpful as character witnesses, maybe. I'm not sure, because this is kind of an unprecedented event, and the governments of Gondorin and Rowan and the other forest villages have always tolerated each other, have worked together in trade, but have never collaborated in a judicial sense. So I have no idea. I have no idea what's gonna happen here. So I would suggest coming back to Gondorin, because if Gnarl doesn't have anybody to defend them, then besides themselves, she kind of hesitates. I don't really have to tell you how bad this could get.
Yeah, I don't need you to explain.
Good. So, follow or don't. And with that, she will whistle for some horses. And one pony and one horse is brought over. The horse is Matthew. And Grenda, not Grenda, but Juno will hop on her horse and gesture for you to get upon Matthew. We thought you were dead when this guy showed up. We thought you burned right up in the fire. Guess not.
Nope. Just fine. Good to see you, Matthew.
Yeah.
Did you have a fun run around?
Matthew looks at you, his eyes pointing into different directions. One of them's looking at you, and goes, and like noses your face.
Yes. Oh.
Right. Let's go. And they will ride off.
Oh shit. Okay. Fuck. I want to talk to Keithan while this is all happening, if that's okay.
Yes, of course. What do you and Keithan talk about while this conversation is happening?
I'm leaning against the table, just like, these little fuckers.
Yeah, I know. Same. Is there anybody else in the tent with us? No.
No, you guys are alone in the tent right now.
Aces. All right, I'm gonna go lean next to Keithan.
We could have. Yeah. Could have been able to get out of it.
I know. We still can. I
I'm admitting, and Juno being Juno, or Gnarl admitting and Juno being Juno, I don't see it. And the fact that so open to take responsibility. I think even if we tried to do something outlandish, that it wouldn't go over well. I don't know if Z's not gonna take it. Z's not gonna stand by this.
No. I didn't know about you. No, I think I do know about you. I don't take much stock in political systems, human systems. It sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me. I'd rather we get Gnarl and go.
My concern is even if we got Gnarl, I don't know if they'd come with us willingly.
Shit.
Gnarl seemed very wanting to take responsibility.
I could turn into a bear and just carry them.
That works. Figured we'd do some sort of prison break, so.
I think it'd have to be now.
Before they got to the city.
That's right.
It would have been easier if we were going to blame something on Gnarl, just pretend Gnarl was dead. Die in the fire of the cause or something like that, but there'd be no body.
Yeah, we didn't have time for that.
Yeah, it was. Why? Why did Gnarl have to speak up? It was going to go fine.
I think it's something about being a good person. I cannot blame them for, but this.
It wasn't,
This
the intention.
Justice that Juno was describing doesn't sound like justice to me.
It's probably going to lead to death.
I think so too. Well, I've got a few tricks left on me today. What do you think, Ethan?
I don't see Z taking this lying down, and you're right. Sooner would probably be better. I don't know, man. It's a muddy situation. My main concern is just their intent. Gnarl's intent.
And with that, you guys can hear the clopping of hooves passing the tent and the clinking of chains.
DM, is it just Juno escorting Gnarl?
Yes, Juno has not asked for it. That is correct. Juno has not asked for assistance in escorting Gnarl. It doesn't seem like she's told anybody.
We should go with Keith and at least when we get the horses.
All right.
I'm gonna duck out of the tent and go get Maggie and Bertrand.
We gonna call him Mud?
No, I was thinking about leaving the poor thing behind. Just have his own lovely life. Maybe I'll get Sally. Maybe get Maggie and Sally.
I'm already on Sally. I've already started following Gnarl.
Oh, you did? Okay, Bertrand then. And yeah, bring him to Keithan, and we can hop on and follow along.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. So the horses, thankfully, are close by. But as you guys come out and you see near the horses is Tam staring at the retreating horses of Zeneral, Gnarl, and Juno, and he looks up at Fionn and Keithan and is like, what's going on?
Just going for a bit of a ride, Tam. Stay put, will ya?
No, I don't, you guys just got back.
I know.
And I don't know, and Z said something and they were lying, and I can't remember. DM. Was it Z said something that was a lie to okay.
Yeah, that Z was all okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I
yeah.
just said I had to deal with poison.
Yeah. And Z said everything was okay, but everything is obviously not okay. And I should have said something before, but I didn't. And now, no, I want to go with you guys, because I was away and look what happened.
It's not your fault, Tam.
It's not my fault, but it's like, if I was there, I could have helped, right? So I'm gonna go. I've got my pony. He's right there, and I'm gonna go with you guys. Okay?
I'm gonna look Tam straight in the eyes and this may not end well, and I don't think you want to be associated with us for the time being. And I'm just gonna kind of look a little like serious, but also kind of like mean looking, I guess.
But what if I can help? What if I can do something? I don't like I can help. I know how to do a whole bunch of stuff. I learned a whole bunch of new stuff, and I let you guys leave before, and now everything's all messed up now. So I'm gonna go. Okay? I'm gonna go, and you guys can't stop me. I'm gonna go get my pony.
Oh, damn.
And
it sounds like, I look to Fionn. It sounds like he's making his own decisions.
I'm this close to entangling him.
I mean, I could threaten to take an arm. That might scare him off, but...
What, like eat one of his arms?
Yeah, but like... I don't want to currently.
Tam currently has both Bertrand and Sally by the reins, and he takes them with him. So you guys can't take off on the horses without him. While he goes and gets on his pony, he will, when he is on his pony, he will return the horses to you. Okay, let's go.
Move faster.
All right, I'll hop on Maggie. All right, then. Can't stop you then.
Or I guess he had just Bertrand, because Sally was already taken by Zeneral. So
Yeah, I don't think Maggie would have.
Yeah. Okay. So he just had Bertrand with him. Bertrand, who was very hesitant to follow him around, and he came back with Bertrand and hands the reins to Keithan. Okay, let's go. He looks at you with a very resolute glare.
All right.
Get on the horse and
We'll go.
gallop away.
Okay. And with that, we are going to end the session. It's a little bit of a shorter session, but there's a lot that can happen coming up. Thank you so much for watching with us. Rocks.
And this episode of Ladies and Gentledice has been brought to you by Better Shit. You're watching Ladies and Gentledice. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you folks so much for joining us. You can catch up with our old episodes on YouTube. We're Ladies and Gentledice on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter at Gentledice. Join our Discord, which you can find in our link tree, linktree.ee/Ladies and Gentledice. And if you're watching this on Twitch, you're probably watching it maybe on a Sunday evening, because we stream our new episodes every other Sunday on Twitch at 4 p.m. Pacific time, but we also rerun them on Wednesdays. Maybe you're watching on a Wednesday after 7 p.m. Pacific time. So thank you so much for joining us. I think that's all I have to say. I don't know. My brain is full of panic.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you guys next time. Say goodbye, players, especially Gnarl.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.